Hello everyone and welcome back to another market update video. We've got a quick focus video today with 4 key segments. We'll start with a quick look back at the last trade setup, what worked, where the invalidation was and how we handled the move. Next, a quick heads up, I'm working on a few trading tutorials for those of you asking about structure, entries and risk management. More on that soon. Then we'll get into the current levels I'm watching, higher time frame zones, and which areas could trigger the next major move. And finally, I'll walk through a few of the trade triggers I'm focused on. Some of these are based purely on price action, and others depend on how much price responds to key headlines. We'll touch on both. Let's get into it. Starting off with a quick review of the last trade setup, we talked about the 87 to 89k zone being a key resistance area. That zone was also the value area high of our current range, and we expected a reaction if price tapped into it. And that's exactly what happened. Price pushed into the resistance, swept the highs, and then deviated back below. I took profits at the top of that range, flipped into a scalp short, and managed risk accordingly. What added weight to that level was a macro trigger, specifically Trump's speech on US trade policy, which lined up almost perfectly with the local top. As price pulled back, I closed the short around the POC, or point of control of the range, and now we are currently sitting right at the quarterly monthly open. Let's break down where we go from here and the key levels I'm watching next. Quick announcement. In April 2025, I'm finally launching the long requested Emperor BTC video tutorial series. This will be a 20-part educational series covering all the essential topics for trading crypto properly, from basics to more advanced concepts. The full index of tutorials will be released once this channel hits 10,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, hit that sub button. The idea behind this series is simple: to give beginners a complete, structured foundation to become independent in the market, and to help experienced traders clean up or refine their core concepts. I'm not going to be fluff. I'm aiming to put out the best possible educational content I can from my side. Stuff I wish I had access to when I started. Before we jump back into the charts, just one last shout out to my friends at Bybit who've somehow been dumb enough to partner with me. They're offering a $600 bonus if you use the link in the description, with a few conditions obviously. This one's for the young and underfunded traders, and full disclosure, my intern gets a 0.02% commission on the volume, which helps pay for his ex-wife's alimony. If you use the link, thank you. If not, no worries at all. Now let's get back into the charts. So let's wrap this up with the 2 scenarios I'm tracking for my next Bitcoin trade. Now, to be clear, not much has changed. Prices followed the previous plan almost perfectly, so we are sticking to the same levels. All I've done is extend the volume profile tool to the right to cover the latest price action. Plan 1 is still active, and it starts here at the value area low, right around the quarterly open. If we see a spike in liquidations or heavy sell volume into this area, and if we can reclaim today's levels, there's potential for follow through. That move would likely be supported by a relief bounce in the stock market, so I'm watching that correlation closely. The entry trigger here would be a reclaim of the range POC with an invalidation below the recent lows. Plan 2 is honestly my base case right now, and that involves price spending more time under the quarterly open and bleeding slowly into weekly demand. This aligns with the golden pocket for a larger swing position, so I'm watching the 77 to 79k zone very closely. The play here is to set scaling limit orders in that zone and then add size only after we get confirmation, which means a reclaim of the 84k region after the deviation, not before. A key macro trigger behind this recent drop was Trump's tariff announcement, but I personally think this is a negotiation tactic in a broader trade war setup. If we get any headlines about scaling back tariffs, especially at peak fear, that could easily trigger a spot-driven reversal, and that's something I'll be looking to trade as well. So those are the 2 active plans. I'm not forcing anything, just waiting for a price to come to me. Let's see how this plays out. Alright, that's it for this update. We recapped the last trades, laid out the next two setups, and covered exactly how I'm approaching this market moving forward. No forced trades, just clean structure, solid triggers, and patience around key levels. If you found this helpful, drop a like, leave a comment if you're tracking the same levels, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the upcoming Emperor BTC tutorial series dropping later this month. Till next time, trade safe.